Before you change the pots in your guitar, you're going to need to figure out which one to use for your tone and which one to use for your volume. So in this video, I'm going to cover A versus B pots, when and why you would use them. I'm going to give you a little demonstration as to how they might sound differently. And I'm also going to show you how to test your pots with a multimeter. So even if it's not labeled, you would know, one, whether it's working, but also whether you have an A versus a B pot. Now this is part 3 of a series, guitar wiring for beginners. And if you're completely new, I'd recommend going back to part 1, which covers the very basics, ground versus hot, AC versus DC, how electricity works. Part 2 is going to cover how potentiometers actually function. If you just want to figure out A versus B, then stick around. So here I have an A pot and a B pot. So the A is also called logarithmic or audio taper, and the B is called linear taper. Now don't worry if you're glossing over, because once I explain how it actually works, it'll make perfect sense and you'll never forget it. And I also have a cheat sheet that you can download below, which will sort of be a reference for this course, and also it'll save you a bunch of time from having to look up all these things that I'm showing you. So I'm going to show you what's happening in terms of the level of resistance inside these pots. So I'm going to start with a B pot, which is linear, and you'll see why in a moment. I'm going to use my multimeter. I'm going to set mine to the highest setting. So right now I'm using 20M. Right there is 200K. So if I was testing a 500K pot, 500,000 ohms, then I wouldn't have enough range of measurement for that, because this is 200,000, this is 500,000. So it would max out. So I want to use the highest range. In your case, it might just be an ohm symbol. In this case, I have varying ranges for varying degrees of precision. So you're going to put the red on 1 and the black on 2. Okay, so right now, this is turned all the way here. So the wiper is pointing this way. So it's going in and out with 0 resistance. So as I turn it up, let's put it at halfway. So there's about halfway. I'll see if I can get it at 25. So 0.25 in this case is 250,000 ohms, or 250K. So since this is 500K, 250K is exactly half of that. So, which makes sense, right? And you think, well, don't all potentiometers function that way? Well, we'll get there in a moment. So if I turn it all the way up, it's not quite 500. And that's another thing that I'll mention is the level of tolerance of your pot. So typically you'll see a 10% tolerance rating for any standard pot, and that means that it might be 10% off, in which is the case here, because it's not actually 500K of resistance, it's only giving me 490K of resistance. So this pot is a B, a linear pot. So that means if it's halfway, it's 50%. If it's a quarter of the way, it's 25%. If it's all the way, it's 100%. Okay, now I'm going to show you an A pot. So here's my A pot, or logarithmic taper. Now, if you can remember back to your days of calculus in high school, then a logarithmic graph is a curve. So if you can picture that as I'm doing this, that'll help you understand it. So 0 resistance, all the way up is 52. So that's actually beyond the 10% range of precision. So that's 520,000 ohms of resistance. So maybe this isn't the best pot, but now we know. Okay, so then I'll put it at halfway. And it's only at 5. So how does that make sense? It's 50 out of 500. So it's only actually at 10% volume when it's halfway, or 10%, 90% resistance at halfway. So that creates a curved line. So as I go up, okay, it's going very slowly up. So there's, just beyond halfway, and then as I get closer to full, it starts shooting up exponentially. So if you were to graph this out, it would give you a curved line as opposed to a straight line, hence the name logarithmic versus linear. Now don't worry if you're still confused. I'm going to show you visually and also how it sounds. So I'm going to use my recording software here to show you what's happening visually and also give you a chance to listen to it. So this is my guitar track recorded up here. And this is a volume automation. So it's the volume going up and down in a straight line. And this is the volume going up with a curved line and a curved line going down. So this one is linear, B, and this one is logarithmic, A. So again, just to explain it in another way, if you were making this into a graph, say right here is 50%, it's going to be 50% volume, 100% is obviously 100, 25 is 25, 75 is 75. That's in a linear pot. Now, this type of pot would give you 50% is not quite 50%, it's more like 25 or 30, and then as you go closer to full volume, the jump goes up exponentially, or the volume goes up exponentially. So I'll give you a chance to listen to it. So here is a linear. Okay, so would you want your volume to be linear? Think about how that sounds, or logarithmic. Which one do you think sounds better for volume? Linear, B, or A, logarithmic? So sometimes when you're recording too, your eyes can kind of play tricks on you if you have something visual in front of you. So I'm going to play one again, and I want you to try to figure out which one it is. So was that linear, B, or logarithmic, A? Let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want to see if you can get it. You can go back and listen to it to retest. Now, I'm going to tell you what is typical for guitar, and that is an A pot as your volume, meaning a curved line, and a linear pot for your tone. Now, that's also open to interpretation. There's no hard rules on this. You can wire up a linear pot to your volume and a logarithmic pot to your tone, but that's up to you. So what do you prefer? I mean, I'm curious to know what you think sounds better and whether you'd want to change it. I mean, typically I think the reasoning you'd want a curved line for your volume is that it's more of a smooth kind of flow to it. Even if you're doing a fade out on your recording, you rarely would have a straight line as a fade out. The natural, more natural sounding fade out is actually a curved line. So again, open to interpretation. Let me know what you think. Now, next I'm going to show you how the tone knob works in terms of rolling off the highs. So if you recall from the last video, a tone potentiometer functions by filtering out or taking the high frequencies and letting the low ones pass through. So if you're probably familiar with this a little bit with your amp. You have the treble, which is the highs, the mids, and the bass. So what I pulled up here is an EQ on my recording software, an equalizer, which also if you're doing any mixing or live sound, you have a general understanding of this. This is a visual representation of the high frequencies up here, the middle, the mid, and the low or the bass down here. So you can adjust these with an equalizer. I won't go too into depth with that. And what I'm going to be using is a low pass filter, which I also have to correct myself in the last video. I said high pass filter, but a tone knob is more like a low pass filter because it lets the lows pass through. So as you're changing the resistance level of your tone pot, it's basically rolling off the high frequencies like this. It's a little bit choppy because my computer is too slow to pick it up, but generally you would want a nice smooth transition. You wouldn't really want to have a massive jump in the change of your tone. You want to have ultimate control over your tone. You're not doing well, you could do a tone swell, but it wouldn't really make sense. It's not the same as a volume. You don't want like a nice smooth wave as you would with your volume. You want to just have control over your tone knob. So I'll just hit play and show you how that's going to sound. So here's a visual representation of the frequencies, and I'm going to slowly roll it off. So you're losing the highs and then throwing them back in here. That should give you a pretty good idea of why you would want to use a B linear pot for your tone knob, giving you more control, versus a curved line for your volume knob, which will give you more of a natural sound. And don't worry if you forget any of these details, because you can download that free cheat sheet down below. And while I got you here, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and turn on your notifications for next week, where I'm going to be covering the switch, which will sort of help you make things a little bit less complicated when you're opening up your guitar. So stick around for that. I'll see you there.